We gonna hit record. Yeah. Oh, hang on. Oh, hang on. Microphone. It is a T-Bone MB 85. If anyone's curious, it's a Music House Toman clone of the Shure SM58. So, not had a chance to play with it yet, but rant time. I had a bit of a words yesterday about how a few things have been getting on my wick of late, and so subject the second, digital licensing. It annoys me. And the reason it kind of clocked on yesterday was that I am sick and tired of Steam. This isn't the first time I've had a rant about Steam. It's not Steam itself, the distribution platform. It's every platform. Every digital distribution platform gets on my tits. I am sick and tired of things just disappearing. Just vanishing. Out of the blue. No warning unless you are maybe specifically part of whatever's community. Where, I don't know, let's say, just go back to Steam, and I use Steam regularly. When I was younger, I hated Steam. I hated the idea of digital distribution. Then I had these things called children, and Steam seemed like a really good idea, because I don't know how many of you know, but children have this knack of stuffing up discs, cartridges, whatever, when they can get their hands on. Mine didn't a huge amount, if I had to be honest with you, but the risk was there, and I was like, maybe digital's a good idea right now. It's also another reason why Nintendo made their little Switch cartridge memory things taste bad, because they didn't want people to swallow them, or maybe because they didn't want people quickly destroying the evidence that they bought a really sucky game. So, you know, I didn't like digital, and now I have digital libraries with thousands and thousands and thousands of games in them. But there have been times where a game will just randomly disappear. A film will just randomly disappear. A book will just randomly disappear. Kind of like that time when, a funny one I thought, was when 1984, George Orwell's 1984, got pulled off of the Amazon Kindle store. 1984 being pulled off of the Amazon store. Oh, you have to read the book to really get why that's a thing, but it was just randomly, just out of nowhere, just gone. There probably were licensing issues or something like that, but for it to be pulled was just people need to read 1984. The fact that's not on a huge digital marketplace. What's going on? In the case of games, randomly, I'll just pick one off the bat. Platinum Games made an Avatar game, Legend of Korra, and the license expired, I believe, and the game just disappeared. It was gone. And I don't think Steam had issued any warning. Valve had issued any warning. I think it might have been on PlayStation and that as well, but it just went away. You couldn't buy it. You still can't, for the most part, buy that game. There are a few places that still trickle out a key every now and then, but you tend to find that scalpers then buy them and then sell them at ridiculous amounts. I've seen keys for that game go for like £200. Is the game worth £200? No. Is it a fun story about the Avatar from the Avatar series? Yes. But still, to effectively bar fans from content is just so annoying. Platinum also had that issue with a Transformers title, which was pretty good, and which I couldn't buy. And one of my mates had it on PlayStation, I think, and it was fantastic. But when I wanted to get it on the PC, I was, I'll just wait for it in a sale, and then before I managed to get it, it just disappeared. And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Platinum did a Turtles game, license went on that. That disappeared. I don't know how good that was, but it went away. You know, TV shows do the same thing. You could be in the middle of watching a series and they're like, oh yeah, you know, we're bidding that off. Either the license has expired or someone has complained about the content in it and it's gone. Now I understand if, for example, a game goes up and then you find, I don't know, it talks about a somewhat touchy subject, or is funneling, not even talking about a touchy subject, let that be. But if a game goes up on your platform and all of a sudden you find out it's funneling money into the, you know, People's Democratic Republic of Rand Nerds so that I can have my own island, I can understand you might get a bit narky with that if you don't agree with what I'm about, and you maybe perhaps pull my game. Like, it's a really crappy game. I put no time into it, no effort. There's no value there, but I am literally using it to siphon money off onto my other project that I probably shouldn't be doing. Or I don't know, I'm funding a program to make American children fat and useless because, you know, that's it. Or I'm funding my empire to train more people to evict people from low-income housing. Because look at me. That seems to be the kind of thing that I do, right? And then you pull my stuff because I'm doing morally unethical things. You know, you can question my ethics, and so you can bin off my stuff. It's not being sold as a game as such. It's being sold as a way for me to do this other really nasty, not cool thing. I don't like the idea that there's something can be released, be found to be a bit and then be pulled. I think one of them was, I don't even remember what it was called, something Maidens of Michael. Or it might not have been Michael, but Maidens of something M. It was a visual novel, I think, that got pulled for whatever reason. And Steam went on this rampage pulling certain content from Steam a while back, where they were, oh yeah, well, we can't have adult themed content on Steam, or we can't have what even was it in it? I think there was like a lesbian couple in it, and it got pulled. I was like, what's wrong with that? Like, that might not have been the actual reason, but I think that was one of the things that a lot of people jumped up and down about. I was like, who cares? Like, who cares if that was what was in it? You know, as an example, when everyone jumped up and down about this game, Hatred. If anyone remembers Hatred, you just go around, you're basically a cop killer. You just go around killing absolutely everyone. And I was thinking to myself, what is up with all this ranting about this game? It's basically just a modern version of Postal 1. Postal 1 was a top-down kind of twin-stick stylish shooter where you played Postal Dude who had gone postal and was just walking around shooting people. The innocent, police, army, whatever, it didn't matter. You just shot them, whether they were, you know, they could have been members of the KKK or you know, whatever. You just shot them. You just walked out there and they were in your way and you just shot them. It's what Hatred was, but when Hatred came out, everyone's like, no. And I don't think Hatred got pulled, but I think they were trying to. I don't like it. If a game has been released and you can't handle it, don't buy it. But don't demand it get pulled. Anyway, so some rants about some little things that have at some point disappeared. I don't remember if Maidens was actually one. I've probably actually going to pronounce that name completely wrong, but it's Maidens of something. And just look up Maidens of, and then pulled from Steam. It might have been like Maidens of Michelle or Mikhail or something. I don't know, but got pulled. It rags me off when I go onto Steam and I look for a game and it's gone. Now, it doesn't matter if it's gone, and same for like a TV show. I'm in the middle of watching a TV show and it's gone. It it breaks my mind. I'm sat there, I'm waiting for a sale, and then before I can even buy it, it's not a thing. And then when you actually look, I'm like, is there what? So let's just wind this wrap a bit. What I want to see is more places putting up warnings that digital content is going to disappear. If a company is going to lose a license, let people know and make it more public, make it more out there. If it's on a store, I think if you have a digital marketplace of digital content, movies, music, films, whatever, I would almost demand that there be a section for content that for whatever reason is going to be removed from a storefront and give people a date. So that if they want it, they can have it. I don't like timed exclusive content either. Or content with a timer in general. Nintendo have done that recently. Oh yeah, if you don't buy it by XYZ date, we're pulling it from the store, you can't have it. What a cunt thing to do, just because at some point I have money to buy something and someone else doesn't. That means that I have the benefit of... Like, what? No. It's a digital product. They should be allowed to have it when the fuck ever they want it. It's there. Just put it on a server. It's not costing you anything. Storage is cheap. Bandwidth ain't cheap. Storage... Well, bandwidth is cheap. But it's cheap. Just keep it there. It's not doing any harm for you. So I think there's like every single store, like the Nintendo eShop, PSN, Valve, Epic, all that. You should have a section on. I don't even care if the game is breaking your terms of service. Now, if it turns out it's a game, if it's a game that's like, I don't know, it's going to break the security of people's machines when they install it, like it's going to breach, it was literally made to say, like, hack something. Get rid of it. Just bin it off. But if it's just like, oh, yeah, well, I don't know. In this game, the guy punched a kitten or something. And so we're removing it because everyone's upset about it. Tell me when you're going to remove it so that I can make the choice beforehand whether or not I want to buy it. I have looked on Steam... And I'm not seeing anywhere that specifically states when something's going to be removed. If you're going to remove a TV show because of a license is going to go away, please let me know, like saying these things have been removed. So I think like Amazon or Netflix may do that with some of their stuff. Like, hey, here's the thing, this stuff's going to be removed from the thing soon. Please watch it. Oh god, it fucking annoys me. It really does my head in. Oh yeah, we've got licensing for the third one in this series, but not the first two. Or we've got the first one, the third one, the fourth one. Right? What about the other one? Yeah, no, we haven't got the license to that. Or, we've got this series, and this one, but this season... Mythbusters is an example. Once upon a time, for some reason, you couldn't get season 1 and 2 in the UK. Once upon a time, you couldn't do it. It just wasn't there. What was that? There's a film that I like to watch every now and then. Is it Lock, Stock? Can't seem to get it on any British digital store, but it's on Amazon Prime for the Americans. Why should I have to VPN to something to get access to something that isn't licensed in my country? Why isn't it? Because, you know, realistically that kind of stuff doesn't matter. Look at the games on Steam. Most of them fall under a world license. You just get a world license. They're not region locked. Digital content realistically shouldn't be region locked. If there's a censorship issue, I get it. You know, you can't be putting the swastika in German stuff. They have a thing. You just can't do it. So you have to make a more friendly version for them. But stop locking down content. Stop making content just disappear. I hate that there are some things you have to pirate. If you want to get a hold of it, what was it one of my mates was talking about a while ago? Was it what's that film with Jack Black with the kids? Rock School, School of Rock, whatever. I know there was one that was a documentary and one was a film with Jack Black in it. Right? He was like, well, I pay for all these services, yet I can't get this damn film. So I've got Amazon Prime, I've got Sky, I've got this, I've got that. Where is this damned film? And he's like, well, I don't want to go out. I just want to rent it so I can watch it with my kid. I'm not going to buy it because I'll just throw it in the bin straight away afterwards. I just want to watch this sodding film. But it's not there. Dogma. Kevin Smith's Dogma. Oh, I fucking love that film. Can you get it digitally? Well, you might be able to now. I haven't looked recently. But it's not there for the most... Look, I haven't seen it. So if you want a digital copy, you have to go out and buy the physical and rip it yourself. That's annoying. I have done it, but that's not the point. It's annoying because I love that. I really do love that film. Like I put every single time I have a new machine, I put Dogma on it. Don't ask. It's stupid. Like, there's a few albums I put on every machine that I've got. There's a few films I put on every machine I've got. But you just can't get it digitally. I can't just hit the button and go, yeah, mate, I'm gonna stream that off my Google account, or I'm gonna stream that off my Amazon account, or I'm gonna stream that off of, heaven forbid, my Apple account, or it just. Like I said, I was looking down the Steam list, and there's this curator who's making guesswork about whether or not something's going to expire. There was one thing that I saw, and it was a Hyperdimension Neptunia game. I love the Neptunia series. They're goofy and stupid. They poke fun at gamers. They're full of just random references to other kind of, media. Like, oh, hey, did you know that XYZ company used to be a Dukebox company to start with, and then they got into games? Did you know that blah, blah, blah? Like, loads of little bits of kind of gaming trivia just spattered about the place. But... then they were like, oh yeah, the new one, it's not coming. The license expired last year. And I was like, last year? I thought the game only came out beginning of this, end of last. What do you mean the license has expired? Oh yeah, it's going to be pulled from Steam, or has been pulled from Steam because of the licensing. Went onto the store page, actually looked for it, because it was still there. Oh god, thank you. It's been pre-ordered. It's like the pre-order's come up. It's due to come out. Not that the license has expired. I was fucking angry. I was like, oh my god. Like, I would have, had I have known that had come out on PC, I really wanted that. Like, I would have loved to have paid for that. I think more people should be known. They should know when things are being pulled. Like I said, the Legend of Korra stuff. Would have been nice if more people... Like, if there was just a list you could go to, this game is going to be removed at the end of the week, buy it now whilst you can, kind of thing. Because, like I said, it just seems really stupid that some people can have something that others can't. Especially in the digital world. I understand if you only make, 100 of a car or a guitar or something like that, I understand that there's a limited number. But in digital content? Really? A limited release digitally? Are you high? Are you mental? It's digital. It's kind of the point that it's unlimited. As long as there is bandwidth, it's unlimited. Stop being a dick. People should be given the choice before you just decide you're going to strip it from a store. Don't put it up if you feel you're going to remove it later. Don't do it. Fight for those licenses. Just, aggravating. I don't know. Rants. I just need to get off my chest. Give me a tab. Just give me a section. Let me go to streaming sites, music sites, video sites, game sites, and tell me. Like I say, this stuff is going to go by, I don't know, end of April, and all these things are going to go away. Give me an option to buy them. Because 9 times out of 10, they don't actually pull the option to re-download something. They just pull it from a store. They just pull it so you can't buy it anymore. It's still available for you to re-download it once you've purchased it. So they're still keeping it on their servers to one of the licenses that people have already paid for. Is there any content that you guys have wanted to buy that you've just found you can't at the end of it? I would love to buy that Transformers game on Steam at some point. Ragged me off, right? Samurai Showdown. The remake Samurai Showdown that came out like last year before on PlayStation. I own it on everything: PlayStation, Xbox, Switch. Or I own it on every major platform it's on, with the exception of PC. Because I kept on looking, I kept on looking, I kept on looking, and I'm on Steam. Where is it? Epic fucking exclusive, isn't it? It had been an Epic exclusive for like 6 months. Or it's still an Epic exclusive. And I was like, what? And yet the other Samurai Showdown games are on every other platform. PC? It's just Epic. All these game stores fighting over licenses too. Oh yeah, fucking Fall Guys. Hasn't that just been bought by Epic? Saying that Valve are gonna lose the license for it. So that's gonna go over to Epic, so you'll only be able to buy it on. Don't leave it to the users to curate lists to figure out when something's gonna go. You do it. You distribute it. You tell people when it's going away. Give us a clear, just out there section that says this stuff's only out for a little while. Nintendo do it, kind of. You have to actually go to a listing to see if there's limited time DLC or a limited time purchase. But just make it front and center. Give me a tab. Put it in the genre section. Put it in a thing section, like, platform, genre, games being removed soon. Platform, genre, sale, and then games being removed soon, or titles being removed soon. But I'm off. I've been ranting for far too long. Digital's great, but I understand why so many people they just grabbed hold of physical media. Even though a lot of stuff physically is absolutely useless these days because of day one patches. It's just stupidity, greed, and legal red tape. Hope you're well, and I'll see you all with a bit of luck in the next one.